Okay, so now you've sold your large home that you've been in for the last 25, 35, 55 years, and you're considering an adult lifestyle in a high-rise condominium, looking at apartments. So what are you going to need to know? In this series, what we're trying to do is to show you some helpful things to consider if condominium lifestyle for you is for you. So the first thing we need to consider is location and how close are we to things like shopping, our bank, dry cleaner, the doctor's office. Can we get a cab to the local hospital within about a 5 to 7 minute radius? So all of these pieces are important in your considerations of whether a condominium lifestyle, especially apartment living, is for you. Our next step is looking at the parking situation that you may have to consider when you're looking at this building. So what's important when you're looking at a high-rise condominium is the parking situation. You may find that you have a parking spot on an above grade level, which is great. However, it's not covered, so you're still going to have to clean your car with the snow and all the other stuff that's happening. But the interesting part about having an above grade parking spot is that you might be closer to the door to get in. So if you have parcels and groceries and things like that, it may be important to you to be reasonably close to the door. You can find out, if the spots are numbered, what spot belongs to you and is assigned to you, so you get an idea of how far you are away from the door. You will also find out that some condominium corporations have restrictions about branded vehicles. They call them commercial vehicles because they have some kind of decaling or some kind of company branding on them. So they may have designated areas for commercial vehicles, and this may also go if there is underground parking. They may also have a spot for underground parking for commercial vehicles as well. This may not affect you directly, but it might have an effect with people that might be living with you, a son or a daughter, whatever the case may be, who do have a company vehicle. So let's go inside and look at the underground parking and see what that option looks like. If your parking lot spot is not on the upper grade, it'll probably be below grade and underground, which might be a preference for you anyway with snow and ice, etc. on your vehicle. What you want to find out is what the parking spot number is that's assigned to your unit, so that you get an idea of, do I have room to park my vehicle? Can I make that big turn around the pylon? And also, how far away am I from the door? And if I'm actually quite a distance, I want to make sure that I have a buggy or something that actually will allow me to put some groceries and some parcels in it so I can get it up to my unit. I want to be able to kind of get to this door for a couple of reasons. One, I'm comfortable this way. Two, security at this point. And it just gets me closer to the elevator. So let's go up and look at some lobby ideas I want to talk to you about. Okay, so the entrance into the building usually will have a couple of different formats for you. You're probably most familiar with the buzzer board, so you'll be assigned a 3 or 4 digit code to have access into your unit. That's for your guests, any deliveries, etc. You'll see in some cases, in some different units, where they'll have a camera or a phone system where through your television you'll be able to kind of see who's downstairs in the lobby waiting for you. Also, you might move even further into this situation where you find a manned security service called the concierge, which actually will buzz people in, have people sign in, etc. If you use a buzzer system, most likely you have one of these fobs that you'll have to have a deposit for. And what this does, it just allows you into the building just like this. Important, very important, is the elevator service. You have to find out, because it's not as easy as you would think to just kind of go, I'm moving today and I need the elevator. You have to book the elevator with the Condominium Property Management Corporation. They basically assign a time, and usually it's only a couple of hours for you to get in there. It's going to be important for you to know when your movers are coming with your stuff what your time slot's going to be, especially if it's inclement weather or whatever the case may be. You got to be able to make your time slot, or at least notify the office that you can't make it. So come on in. We'll ride it up. When you're checking out the building, you want to find out a few things. How often are the hallways updated? Are they big enough to get your furniture down? These updating that we're talking about includes things like wallpaper, broadloom. When was the last time it was updated? When's the next time it's supposed to be updated? You might want to check out a few other things on this floor, i.e. like emergency exits. You may also want to find out how many units per floor are there. And if you're interested, I'm sure your realtor can tell you about things like the difference between how many tenants versus residents, how many owners versus people who actually rent on the floor. You're also going to be interested in what's actually happening with smells, whether it's smoking and you have some sensitivities, cooking smells, pet odors, etc. Find out what you can do about it. What you can do is certainly talk to the property management company or anybody who lives in the building, and they'll be able to give you some information about how this works.